student aid.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Sam Davis.
If you've seen the movie Hoosiers, you know that a basketball rim is 10 feet above the ground. That's the same if you're in the gym at Beaver Island High School or at Little Caesars Arena. But what are the other court dimensions? To start, courts are typically 84 feet long, but can be up to 94 feet long. They're also 50 feet wide. The free throw line is 15 feet from the face of the backboard, and the high school three-point line is 19 feet 9 inches from the basket. Each hoop is a circle, 18 inches in diameter. The boys play with a basketball 29.5 inches in circumference. The girls play with one at 28.5 inches in circumference. And believe it or not, 2 girl balls will go through a standard rim at the same time.
Thanks, Sam. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you are interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. Sticking with officiating, since 2020, the number of registered officials in Michigan has fallen from more than 9,000 to less than 8,000. It's a dip that puts extra strain on our current officials. But for the fall 2022 season, the number of registered officials is more in line with where we were pre-pandemic, and things seem to be slowly trending up. The MHSAA has increased pay for postseason games and provided membership in the National Association of Sports Officials. Membership gives officials expanded insurance coverages, access to professional services and development, and a subscription to an MHSAA-focused referee magazine. But there's still a need for more. If you are interested, go to MHSAA.com and click on Officials for more information. Because without officials, it's just practice. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
To head over the timeline to Gable. Gable straight to the basket, elevates, slams it down over top of Orbaugh. Won't get it. Ryan dribbles to the corner, 15 seconds to go. Ryan, Vanderjack, up fake, launches a three. Good! Oh my goodness! Out to the point, throws him up, innocent space, shot, scores! 2-goal lead for the Bulldogs, 4 unanswered. Giving on to Titus. Titus angles, pull up shot for the lead. Good! Brady Titus, a scream to the heavens after he knocks it down. And hello everyone, and welcome to game night, and welcome to Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer with us solo tonight. I will be rejoined on Friday by CT, and we have got a crosstown border war rivalry at the top of the OK Red tonight. It does not get any better than this. It's Grandville and Hudsonville in a classic boys basketball clash. We'll have video coverage for you once again, like we did on Friday here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio, and cannot wait to get to all of it tonight because we have got so many storylines in this rivalry. You can, of course, expect an intense game. Two teams that are hungry. Grandville coming off that big, thrilling win over East County. We'll have some highlights from that game coming up in our Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. Grandville off that win for Hudsonville. Gave it away. A really tough game and a tough 3-point loss to Rockford last time out for the Eagles. Both these teams in low-scoring clashes in their last contest. You know the grinding nature of both of these teams as well behind Coach Elliott for Hudsonville and head coach Desmond Young for the Bulldogs. So that's kind of the basic way to set the stage because we've got a lot to get to over the next still extended probably Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. Still working our way to the end of the JV contest that Hudsonville has controlled throughout most of the way here at Vanderslice Gymnasium tonight. But we'll work through that. We'll get through a lot more as well. Storylines, getting to some of these teams because there are some new names for Hudsonville along with some familiar names from last year if you tune in any game night broadcast or any other broadcast on Michigan Sports Radio or anywhere else with this team. It's a new-look team. It's a very athletic team, but they still are going to have a lot of the things you expect, of course, to see out of an Eric Elliott coach team, and we'll see how all those pieces fit together, including we talked a lot about a really, really unique freshman for the Bulldogs in the fall in Jaden Terry. Very unique freshman on the hardwood for Hudsonville and Jovan Daniels that they will bring off their bench, and has been gaining minutes throughout the year as well as he continues to kind of gain some size and gain some strength as he gets up to the varsity level. So a lot of interesting things to get to in this one. I cannot wait to get to them on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. Here's what the first thing we're going to do, though. What a thrilling win it was, 48-41 right here Friday night on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. And I think the perfect way to set the scene for tonight is to go back. So here are, right on the other side of a break, we're going to come back and we're going to get you some of the top highlights that you can look back to from that really, really thrilling win for Grandville over East Kentwood as both teams dueled down the stretch in Grandville using that 2-3 zone the entire game. We're able to slow down the Eagle attack just enough, come up with enough big plays themselves, and get the win. We'll be right back here with those highlights here on the Bates Agency pregame show. Grandville and Hudsonville, classic OK Red border war here tonight from Vanderslice Gymnasium. Cannot wait to get it underway.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly,
"You've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring."
and it was covered thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
For Rembert over top him. 10-1 offers for Rembert, and he wins back the tip. And it'll be the sophomore, Daryl Tompkins Jr., going to work, swinging it to Hatchet and back. Bulldogs open with a 2-3 zone. This is not something we have ever seen out of Coach Young's team. We know the issues EK had against the zone against Rockford on Tuesday. The Bulldogs go to it. A score from Flakes and a mistake and a turnover, and EK takes back over, but that is quite the twist right there. Stockwell in the corner for Heckman. Man with space, tries the three with Tompkins closing, and scores. Good start for Tyson after he was held off the score sheet against Caledonia. Man able to burst the gym to its feet, and the Bulldogs get within one early, and they go back to the switching zone. Safe frame to get that one. Hendrickson around the screen, stops and feeds for Tyson. He'll try a deep three. Yes, sir! 12-10 Bulldogs. Man was 6.
I think some of our questions about Tyson Mann being answered early on. He looks aggressive here tonight. Hit a 3 earlier. Now his second of the night. Having a little bit of room and knocking it down.
Hatchet all over, grabbing on that arm even a little bit. Here's Stockwell, corner Tyson Mann. He's got a little bit of space, and he'll trigger and he'll hit. Trio of triples, Tyson Mann tied at 15.
Tyson Mann feeling it early on. A hand in his face that time, still able to knock it down. That's 9 points, 3 triples for him early.
9 for Tyson. And the Bulldogs back to the zone. Lob for Humphrey Rembert. He wanted to jam on the alley-oop but couldn't handle. Bulldogs have it with Heckman. 4:56 second quarter, Grandville by 3. Hendrickson for Stockwell for Cam Regnerus. Spins on Humphrey Rembert and scores.
Here's the post touch for Regnerus where he's able to set himself up to get the entry pass. Then he goes to work. That's where he's at his best.
That's a top level 10 offer D1 player that Cam goes to work on there. And the Bulldogs lead at 21-16. Christian Humphrey Rembert, triple try. Yes. First of the game for CHR. Half, 25-21 Grandville. Bulldogs defense coming to play as well right now against this East Kentwood offense. It's averaging nearly 60. Man, yes, sir, again. 4 triples, Tyson Mann, 28-21.
I love to see the aggressiveness from Tyson Mann. He's been quick on the trigger here tonight, making the Falcons pay. Now 4 triples. So even on the looks that he hasn't hit, you like to see him take that. He's a tremendous shooter and has value on the offensive end. When
Ethan Cobbs, by the way, came in for the first time, number 23 in black. Hendrickson, corner Heckman. He got it down to Regnerus. He'll turn and kick. Stockwell, 3, over top of Humphrey Rembert. Oh, good, he banked it in. I'm not sure he called bank on it, but he'll take it. 35-26, Bulldogs by 9.
Had the open look and got it to bank home. Nice recognition from Regnerus. Got the touch on the block and sees the numbers coming towards him. Able to swing it back out for a look for Stockwell.
He's got big Christian Humphrey Rembert on him. Nice up fake. Drive from Stockwell. Jumps and finishes. Logan Stockwell with 7, and a nice move bouncing through the lane for the finish. 37-26, Bulldogs by double digits. Flakes is just leading the intensity on the floor every time. Here's Mann with numbers. Regnerus jams, and he put it through the block attempt from Humphrey Rembert. Grandville by 5.
I think Humphrey Rembert might have got a tip of that one just a little bit, but Regnerus the strength to still get it to roll in.
Morris 3, no. Rebound Tyson Mann. Made 4 threes in the first half. He's been quiet in the second half, just 2 points, as Mann has been highly focused on by Marshawn Flakes, the best on-ball defender for the Falcons. Here is Cam Regnerus turning his Humphrey Rembert. Nice move and nice finish. Oh, he faked him out and finished. 12 for Cam Regnerus, 45-38.
Huge possession. Took their time, swinging the ball around, finally get a post up for Regnerus, and he makes it count.
Tompkins Jr. drives, dishes, 3, hatchets. Yes! 9 for Hatchet, timeout. 109, fourth quarter, 45-41. Heckman over the timeline to Hendrickson. On to Stockwell. Lobs it for Regnerus, who touches it home. 47-41. Storms corner 3. No. Rebound Regnerus. Fouled. I think they know it, CT.
I think they're starting to realize what's going on here.
What a game. Regnerus at the line. The Bulldogs lead by 6. By the way, that was foul number 5 on Ja Hatchet. Free throw, yes. 15 for Cam. I don't know how we're going to choose Centennial Security's player of the game. New leading scorer for the Bulldogs, E.K. Faithful heading into the exits. Airballs the second, a little bit of a smirk for Cam. 8.1. So Grandville set to go 5-3 overall in the year. They'll go to 2-1 in the OK Red. A big win against East Kentwood. Pull up shot, misses. Rebound Stockwell, that'll do it. I'll call it the premier win for Coach Young in his brief year-and-a-half tenure here with Grandville. A community driving type win and a fun win for the Bulldogs. They find a way to fight off one of the most talented teams in West Michigan with one of the most accomplished coaches in the state of Michigan. The Dogs are 2-1, and they will find themselves, depending on what happens around the rest of the area, right back at the top of the OK Red. Welcome into the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency post-game show. How about that one, Chandler? Bulldogs by 7.
Yeah, big on so many fronts for the Bulldogs after having some late game struggles against Caledonia, able to hold on here. There were some moments of danger a little bit for them, but able to answer that call and hold on to a game, play the complete game from start to finish. I mean, East Kentwood team that's fresh off of a huge comeback, so they're no stranger to a big second half push as well. So I think kind of answered some of those questions, but also that that this team has the potential to beat some of the best teams in the area. I mean, when you're looking at individual talent across the team and a team that has depth, East Kentwood right at the top of that, and they just beat them for a full four-quarter game.
All right, welcome back. Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer with you here. Game night on Michigan Sports Radio, rolling on Grandville-Hudsonville, the border war here tonight. So there was a look back at what a night and what a win it was for the Bulldogs over East Kentwood. A really fun one to be a part of. The debut of MGN's video coverage, at least here at Vanderslice Gymnasium, that we have done, continues out there tonight. Both Grandville and Hudsonville are out going through their warm-ups right now. So on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show, let's meet each of these teams a little bit more and kind of dig in to some of the X factors we can likely expect to see rising to the forefront in this one here tonight. You start with the Eagles, this team under head coach Eric Elliott, who is in his 13th season. Of course, the former Hope standout, played overseas. Coach Elliott did as well before eventually finding his way back to his alma mater. And now, again, as I said, 13 seasons he's at the helm of this Eagles squad. 6-3 on the year and 2-1, just like the Bulldogs. 2-1 in the OK Red, coming off a 3-point loss, a tough loss to Rockford at Rockford on a really packed gym, I should say, on Friday for Hudsonville. So despite that tough loss, you look at it, a good start to the OK Red season, good start in general. You have a Unity Christian win and some other good performances in there for this Hudsonville team. And you look at last year, this was a team that maybe was a little bit lower ranked, I think, at the end of the season compared to the last couple years, especially you think back 2 years ago, the COVID-shortened season, of course, the one that comes to point of mind where I think this is going to be a Breslin Center and beyond type basketball team. They're building back this year to a little bit more athletic team, a couple multi-year starters, a couple new guys that have come in and really are helping set the table. The guy that first does so is their junior wing forward, a 6'3" player, and that is Braylon McFall. So McFall, a very interesting piece to this team because he's a guy that mostly is known and is a very top-level baseball pitcher, probably going to be a D1 almost type baseball pitcher. That's where he's been known throughout his career. He played on JV. He wasn't necessarily a standout player last year, but he came back this year again a little bit longer, 6'3", 6'4", hyper-athletic kid, and he is scoring at all three levels. He's defending well at all three levels. He can be a blocker and a shutdown guy in the paint. He can roam out to the perimeter to shut you down as well. So McFall has turned into a real interesting piece that has maybe been a little unexpected to some extent for Hudsonville, that has really helped take this offensive attack and defensive play as well to the next level. He had 9 points against Rockford. Again, just kind of a top-level guy, an athletic slasher and shooter that's going to lead the way for you. In their backcourt, the first guy I look to is their third-year junior point guard, Braden Shamray. We first got introduced to him. He was pulled up to varsity midway through his freshman year. We were first introduced to him because he played in the playoffs against, ultimately, in that loss, that really thrilling game to West Ottawa in the district semifinal his freshman season for the Eagles. But, third year, the featured point guard for this team, coming into his own even more. 13 points led the way against Rockford. He's up to about 6 foot tall now as well, so he has a little bit of size to go along with it. He's grown at that point guard position. Tough backcourt in general, getting to some of those other pieces that we have out there. After 3 years, it finally almost came down on me. Good catch. I don't know what kid caught that, but that was a good catch. But regardless, a tough backcourt in general that this Hudsonville team brings to the table, and that's some of what we'll have to get into as well. Of course, for Grandville, on the other side of things, I think the Bulldogs are a team to watch in regards to the defensive play, of course, that has been front of mind for them. And I think when you look back to the East Kentwood game, the first thing that comes to the front of your mind for that 48-41 win is the fact that they went 2-3 zone the entire game. And when we've talked to Coach Young, he's the first guy to tell you that he is more of a man-to-man, especially a half-court man type, very tough, physical head coach in his normal mindset. Well, they came up with the idea after likely they saw Rockford have some successes in it or with it against East Kentwood to run that 2-3 zone, and man, was it effective. East Kentwood in that contest absolutely struggled in every way offensively. The Falcons shot 31% from the field in total and 14% from three. The defense allowed for Cam Regnaris to roam in the paint and get some good touches as well. At the end of the day, I think that zone, it probably isn't the last we've seen of it, and maybe not just against East Kentwood. It certainly is a trick in the back pocket of Coach Young that we can expect to probably see more of down the stretch of this season, because it was really, really impressive. Standout for the Bulldogs last time. Stand out for the Bulldogs last time, of course, I think you have to look at Cam Regnaris, Tyson Mann, and we named them our Centennial Securities first and second half players of the game, because in the second half it was Cam Regnaris who, of course, drew that matchup on East Kentwood's top-level D110 offer player, Christian Humphrey Rembert. Cam went for 15 points, the leading scorer for the Bulldogs, big in the second half with big plays. But the offense was a little stagnant in the first half, and it was Tyson Mann that really led the way for the Bulldogs offensively. He had 12 points in the first half, all coming off a quartet of three-pointers. So those two guys have to lead the way offensively for the Bulldogs, and they did lead the way offensively for the Bulldogs. Of course, we know what the defense can do, and it's going to be a grinding game. It's going to be a game where you have to limit turnovers. You have to limit mistakes. We know what these two teams always want to try to bring to the table, and that's where it kind of sets up. They almost took the banner down again. That's where it's going to all have to set up, is you're going to have to look at this game from a lack of mistakes from an execution standpoint. When Grandville was at their best versus East Kentwood, it was when they offensively were in this rhythm, taking their time, finding looks, and then, of course, forcing East Kentwood into mistakes and into quick shots and into bad shots out of the zone. It's the same sort of thing, except Hudsonville is never normally going to settle for those bad shots. You're going to have to find a way to one-on-one find that matchup that's going to somehow, some way work out for you, and that's all how things always seem to set up in this matchup. All right, a lot more still to break down. We'll be right back here on the Bates Agency pregame show.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly,
You've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
and it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car.
My car!
And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
And welcome back to Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer with you on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show here this evening. Grandville, and Hudsonville continue to get ready for this one. Let's look a little bit deeper at some of the other pieces that I think came to mind in terms of when you're trying to look at some of the X factors for this game and some of what these teams have done in the past. For Grandville, first off, last time out, what a game for Logan Stockwell. Really gave some of that tertiary scoring along with the Ragnarsson man when it was very much needed for this Bulldogs attack. He was very impressive. Able to knock down a 3, some nice slashing moves as well, good defense. If Stockwell can play that role as a shooter, as a slasher, as a scorer, along with the good wing defense, that's another next level that this Bulldog offense is going to be able to find with him, and that's where they're going to have to look to, I think, for that next level score. Again, also got Quentin Hendrickson ball in his hands. Grandville just needs, I think, one more handler, wing, or guard player, along with Tyson Mann, that can really kind of take the bull by the horns offensively and help take them to that next level, because Cam Ragnarsson can do so much in the post, Tyson can do so much on the perimeter, but if they're shutting down Tyson, it's hard to get the ball into the post to Cam, and so on and so forth. So I think one more player. Is it Stockwell? Is it, Hendrickson? Haight off the bench, these different guys that are kind of coming into their own, I think, throughout this season as we're getting more and more of a look of what this grinding Grandville offensive attack is going to be. For Hudsonville, mentioned at the open of the pregame show, we've talked a lot about freshmen this year on Michigan Game Night, of course, going back to the fall. There's another freshman here. 5'6", 5'7". He's undersized. He's a small kid for certain. He may even be a little bit smaller than what he is. He's even listed at as someone that actually is 5'7". I think when you look at him out there, but that does not matter. Jovan Daniels, their freshman guard. This kid is, as I said, undersized, but he is tough. He is skilled, and he really has an ability to take this attack. He comes off the bench at the moment, and he really can take this attack to a new level. He's a very, very adept scorer, has a very quick shooting touch. Because he is undersized, he has to, of course, get the shots off quickly. Man, he does. Good handles to go along with it. You're looking at a very dangerous backcourt when he and Shamroy are out there, or when he's at least filling the place of Shamroy and can continue some of that ball handling. Also in the backcourt, Gibson Heathlice, 5'10 senior guard. This is a guy that also plays lacrosse. Super, super, super tough. Just one of those kids at the guard position, about 5'10", a tough two-way combo guard, plays on and off the ball offensively. You see Daniels just with the ball at the free throw line there, by the way, a moment ago. But really tough backcourt that they're able to make up. And then up front, a lot of athletic guys, a lot of tough guys. Mason Dykstra, who just committed to Ferris State for football on Monday. He is out there at a 6'3". He'll play kind of the power forward or center position. Of course, Eli Vanderveen, the Hope wide receiver commit, is going to play center off the bench but get starters minutes at least. Last time out, Jonah Dennis is on the wing as well, a 6'2" junior, kind of the small forward or the power forward even position. So a lot of different guys that can do a lot of different things for Hudsonville will be a critical part of their attack. Rolling on to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. We'll get into some X Factors in just a moment. But first off, just want to remind everyone again that Scott Bates, the presenting sponsor of this pregame show, is your local Grandville, Jenison, and Hudsonville Farmers Insurance agent, and is a great, very long-time supporter from the very beginning of game night. And Scott offers business insurance, auto, homeowners coverage, and more. Give Scott a call today at 616-531-3441, or stop into the agency located at 3181 Prairie Street, Southwest in Grandville. All right, inside 2 minutes until this contest gets underway. What are some X factors that we can look to that are going to help lead the way? Well, I talked, I think, a couple times about this because it's a key point. I want to go back to it one more time. The turnovers, or maybe a lack there of turnovers, going to be very critical because both these teams are very smart with their attacks on both ends of the floor. They're going to look to find advantages defensively first and with efficient offensive possession. So if you turn the ball over a lot, you will lose this game. I think it is going to somewhat be as simple as that. They both are high-pressure defenses in a lot of ways, and they force you into those mistakes, but I think the turnover battle might be one of the most critical notes to watch in this basketball game, who is going to ultimately win it, and then the secondary scoring. We know the names on top and some of the balance that they do in terms of the top 2 or 3 names for each of these teams, but who's the number 3? Who's the number 4 guy that could be the X factor that is going to be able to maybe slip out of these really tight, aggressive defenses and help get their team to that next level? That's where this game, I really think, is ultimately going to be won and lost. I think you'll see fairly tight rotations. Neither team probably goes more than 7 or 8 deep. Grandville only went 7, really 6.5-ish deep against East Kentwood. So that's going to be the game. Going to be grinding, going to be tough. You cannot make turnovers. You have to be very efficient offensively despite a lot of pressure. That's been a little bit of an issue for Grandville. Hudsonville has had their number quite a bit in the last couple years. Can they break that trend tonight? Can they get a big win? By the way, right now you've got unbeaten Grand Haven at the top of the conference, but it's a war and a battle with 2-1 teams littering things after that. So who knows where the OK Reds going tonight? Might be a big, already early indicator where things are going. This has been the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agents pregame show. National anthem on deck. When we come back, basketball, Grandville, Hudsonville, border war, and a really fun one at that coming up.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it, and move all of us forward.
To everyone who loves great food, Let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
All right, welcome back, Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer with you through the anthem. Introductions underway. And let's meet who's starting for the respective squads in this one. Head coach Eric Elliott leads Hudsonville in his 13th season. They'll be in those traveling navy blue with gold numbers and trimming uniforms for the Eagles. They will start the 6-foot junior guard Braden Shamray in the backcourt alongside the 5'10" senior guard Gibson Heath-Heiss. Up front on the wing, they'll have the 6'3" junior Braylon McFall and the 6'2" junior Jonah Dennis. And up front, they've got the 6'3" center and forward Mason Dykstra. Eagles are 6-3 on the year and 2-1 within the OK Red. For the Bulldogs, same lineup we have seen all year long. The Bulldogs, for second-year head coach, roll with the 5'11" senior guard Tyson Mann. Alongside him in the backcourt, his fellow senior Quentin Hendrickson. On the wing is the senior Logan Stockwell, coming off that really solid performance against East Kentwood. Up front, pair of juniors for the Bulldogs, the 6'4" junior Corbin Heckman and the 6'8" junior center Cam Regneris will be in the middle of the Bulldog attack. Home white uniforms tonight for the Bulldogs, and we are just about ready to go with this one. 8 minutes up on the board. It's always a game you have to look forward to, this border war between these two rivals. It's a tough, it's an aggressive, it's a physical game. We mentioned all of those attributes, and it's always at the core of it a lot of fun. Should be a good atmosphere even for a Tuesday night game here tonight. McFall will jump on Regneris. And away we go, and the Bulldogs tip it back for the control of Stockwell, who races to it and gets it along to Tyson Mann, who will start the Bulldog attack, defended by Gibson Heath-Heiss. Man to the corner, coming off that 14-point performance, including 4 first-half triples against East Kentwood. Hendrickson off the feed from Stockwell to the top of the key, out for Heckman. Heckman finds Stockwell in the wing. This is the grinding defense you can expect out of Hudsonville. Inside to Regneris, doubled as he gets the ball ripped on by McFall. Jump ball, alternating possession, going to go back the other way as Hudsonville's offense will get their first attack of the game. Braden Shamray to run the offense, 6-foot junior guard in his 3rd season running the Eagle offense. Up top to the wing, Dennis, back to the corner with space. Shamray 3, yes! And Hudsonville gets on the board first with a wide-open triple for their senior guard. Tyson Mann around the Bulldog offense, defended by Heath-Heiss. 45 seconds gone, grinding possessions on both ends, but a little bit of an early shot for Shamray compared to the pace you kind of expect for this Eagles attack. Up top, Heckman with space, launches the 3. The late closeout was McFall, can't knock it down, and the rebound back the other way with the racing Eagles. Dennis with space, a bit of a miscommunication, launches the 3, can't hit it. Rebound went over the backboard, and Grandville takes the ball. 6:51 in the first, 3-0, the early Hudsonville advantage. They show some token full-court pressure here as Heath-Heiss will track down Tyson Mann all the way on up the floor. Mann to the top of the key. Gives Hendrickson, swung to Stockwell. 6:40 to go, 3-0 early Hudsonville. In the wing, Hendrickson. Hendrickson blows to the corner, kicks for Stockwell in the wing. Jabbing on Dennis. Tyson Mann swings corner. Heckman back to Mann. Around the perimeter, slow start inside. McFall got the hand on it, and he'll race the other way. McFall for Shamray. Has the early 3 already, and he's able to reach around Tyson Mann and score. 5 early points, Braden Shamray, and Hudsonville has the 5-0 lead. 6:11 to go, almost 2 minutes gone. A couple of quick scores for Hudsonville, a couple of long possessions for the Bulldogs. Stockwell for Regneris, the big guy up top. Looking, feeding to the wing. Heath-Heiss got a hand but can't control as Tyson Mann gets it. It was 15 points for Regneris last time out. Stockwell with a ton of room launches a 3. Yes! Logan Stockwell on the board, and the Bulldogs on the board as their senior wing knocks down the corner triple. 5-3, big 3 for the Bulldogs, and it is the man defense returning for the Bulldogs tonight. Shamray with a bit of space, hesitated, drove, blocked by Regneris. The rebound to Tyson Mann, and the Bulldogs to take it. 5.5 to go in the first. Bulldogs on the board finally off the Stockwell triple. 2-point game, 5-3. Hendrickson drives. This time he's on Heath-Ice. Kicks up top for Regneris. He'll have a whole bunch of space. Look at the three. Bury it. Bulldogs on top. Couple of triples for the Dogs as Regneris, the big guy, steps out and knocks one down. 6-5 Grandville, their first lead. 3 minutes gone. Dykstra hands off. McFall hesitates, blocked by Regneris, but McFall gets it back. The standout pitcher and standout scorer for this basketball squad. The junior goes to work, spinning on Regneris, gets it to Dykstra, gave a little bit of a back, can't score. Dykstra out of bounds. Looks like a foul going to be called on Stockwell. They'll say he pushed Dykstra out of bounds. Grandville student section right in front of it. Doesn't love the call. They'll come to their feet. First foul of the game is on Stockwell and on the Bulldogs. 4:48 first quarter, 6-5 Grandville. A couple of threes for the Bulldogs early. Shamray defended by Tyson Mann. The junior gives Dykstra. Up fake, block Regneris, but a foul. And that will send Mason Dykstra to the line. Like I mentioned, Dykstra, 6'3 senior, and man, he's done a lot of things on the football field. First off, throughout the years, he's played some center, plays D-line, played tight end this year, and as I said yesterday, committed to Coach Anis's squad at Ferris State to play at the next level, and he hits the first free throw, and we are tied up at 6. Chance to give his team the lead right back at the line. Not as tall of a Hudsonville team as some of what we have seen Coach Elliott, of course, have in the past, but another physical, tough team, good athletically, this one as well. Second one won't go, so we stay tied at 6, and Tyson Mann takes the Bulldog offense up the floor. Defended by Heath-Ice. 4.5 in the first. Mann denied that screen from Heckman. Now gives it to Heckman. Bulldog junior power forward, knocked away by McFall. It's last touched by Heckman, and the Eagles will take the basketball. 4:23 to go, first quarter. Turnover there from the Bulldogs on kind of a slow possession. Heath-Ice to run the offense as the Bulldogs grinding man-to-man attack. We know defensively so well is back. McFall, head fake and drive on Stockwell. Hand off for Dennis. Dennis stolen by Stockwell, and the Bulldogs to take it. Over the timeline, the man foul on Shamray as Shamray got tied up with Tyson at center floor. First foul of the game on Hudsonville, and of course also foul number 1 on Braden Shamray. 4:05 first quarter, 6-all in this one. Again, grinding first to 40, probably something you can expect whenever these two teams have matched up in past years. And when you look at some of their last games they have played as well, both were in that same sort of score span last time. Regneris finds Heckman, who scores. Good work, hands above the head. A really nice feed from Regneris and a nice reaching finish. And the Bulldogs take the lead back 8-6. How about Cam Regneris? Triple from the top of the key and an assist on a nice feed. Shamray drives, blocked by Tyson Mann, and Mann to run for the Bulldogs. Mann, Shamray from behind, tries to rip it away on the floor. McFall tied up. Regneris able to scoot it over to Heckman, and the Bulldogs keep the possession. Stockwell to the top of the key, hesitating for Hendrickson. Back to Stockwell. Heath-Ice hits the floor. Tyson Mann off the tip with space. Launches a three. Yes! Tyson Mann, another triple, had 4 last time out for the Bulldogs. It's 11-6 Grandville. Heath-Ice swings for Shamray. Shamray hits the cutter. Dennis can't score. Rebound Heckman. 2:54 in the first. Stockwell with space, looking for another 3. Can't get that one. And the rebound back the other way with the Eagles and Shamray. Inside 2:45. Bulldogs set up the man defense again. Colin Highbore comes up from the bench along with Jovan Daniels. So underclassmen for both teams, each set to come in. Nice feed from Heath-Ice onto the turning McFall. McFall whips it all the way out for Shamray. Shamray, step back move on for Dykstra. The big guy tries the 3. No on the roll. Rebound to Dennis. Dennis turns the back up top. McFall, space, shoots over top of Regneris. No on the rebound to Tyson Mann. Again, the Bulldogs held East Kentwood to 14% from behind the three-point line, of course using the zone on Friday, but all year long that's been a big part of this defense. Regneris goes to work, turns and scores. What a move. Cam Regneris. He's got 5, and the Bulldogs have a 13-6 lead. Curious when we might see a timeout from either squad as both teams now with a couple of guys kneeling to come into the game. Shamray top of the key working on Tyson Mann. Stops at the block, pops and can't score the long shot over the rim and into the hands of Cam Regneris. 1:43 in the first, 13-6. It started 5-0 Hudsonville, and an offensive foul on the Bulldogs will send it back the other way. Daniels will come in for Hudsonville, along with Vanderveen. Bulldogs have Haight coming in along with Hybor. Daniels for McFall. He'll find Shamray. Now Daniels, the freshman. Foul. No, offensive foul. It goes back the other way again with the Bulldogs. They'll get McFall on the offensive push there. So both teams commit an offensive foul, and the ball goes back the other way. Hendrickson the ball, defended by Shamray over half. 1:21 in the first. And the wing for Hybor. Hybor for Haight, right corner. Daniels, the freshman, sizes him up. Hybor swings Regneris, handoff Hendrickson. Hendrickson tries to curl around the screen. Had Regneris, can't find him. Then he puts up the floater and scores. Nice touch from Quentin Hendrickson. Momentarily maybe had a look to pass it to Regneris. Instead, he's able to get in that soft spot of the defense and hit the floater. 15-6. Bulldogs by 9 inside the final minute of the first. Drive stolen by Regneris. 47 and less. First quarter, 15-6 Bulldogs. Hendrickson drives on Daniels into the lane, another floater. Can't score on that one. Rebound to Braylon McFall. Daniels on Haight for McFall. Drives, pulls up over Highborn. A nice score as McFall able to get on the scoreboard. 15-8. Hendrickson will slowly take it up here for the Bulldogs. Final 13 seconds, holding for the final shot. Heckman, defended by McFall, jumping on him, top of the key, poked and stolen. At the buzzer, Hudsonville looking to knot it up, and they will go to the foul line. 2.7 in the first, 15-8 game. And the foul's on Hybor. (15-8) closing in the end of the first. Hudsonville looking to get it within 10 at the line right here and hit first. Griffin Baker able to knock down the first. And it's the second. 2 free throws for Baker, good at the line. Hudsonville within 10. They bring some pressure. Flung on up and off the backboard, no good. We've reached the end of the first. 15-10, Grandville over Hudsonville after one. We'll be right back.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
A sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make your community a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
All right, welcome back to Vanderslice Gymnasium. 15-10, Grandville over Hudsonville after the first quarter of play here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Nate Dreyer with you this evening, and the Bulldogs get the ball to start the second quarter. Hybor, Mann, Hendrickson, Regneris, and Haight. Pretty tall Bulldog unit out there right now to start offensively. Shamray defense comes up on Tyson Mann to open up. Mann stops top of the key and feeds for Heckman, who hands it back off. First 10 seconds gone. Screen comes back their way. McFall picks up Mann. Heckman. Hybor, dump pass Regneris. Turns the back on Eli Vanderveen. Handoff for Heckman. Bulldogs working slowly, methodically against this Hudsonville grinding defensive attack. And Shamray bounced out there and commits the foul. It's a big part of what they do, like to hedge screens. It's a little bit of kind of a pack line type defensive system in that way. And Shamray picks up his second foul, bouncing out there defensively. Stockwell, Heath Heiss come back in for their respective squads as Heckman and Shamray each will take a seat. So now Jovan Daniels will be left to run the Hudsonville offensive attack on the other end of the floor. Tyson Mann on Heath Heiss. Around the Regnerus screen. Kicks corner Ryder Haight. Stockwell opened the Bulldogs scoring with a triple. Finds Mann, who had a three of his own in the first quarter. 45 seconds gone already in this possession. Stockwell, corner three, misses it all. Rebound to Heath Heiss. 7:08 in the second quarter. 15-10 Grandville. After a long possession, the Eagles get it. Jovan Daniels drives, cannot score with an unfriendly touch from the rim, and Ryder Haight the basketball for the Bulldogs. 6:55 and last second quarter. Tyson Mann up top here for the Dogs. Screen there from Regnerus. Mann drives, corner, Haight, space, three over top of Daniels. Yes! Ryder Haight knocks down the triple. Bulldogs spreading out the love offensively. They lead at 18-10. Heath Heiss barking out some calls and running the offense here along McFall up there. Here is Braylon McFall for Jovan Daniels, the freshman sensation, highly skilled young player. Griffin Baker for Heath Heiss in the corner, defended by Mann. Back to Baker. Hybor faces him up defensively. Baker inside, travel. Grandville basketball. 6:16 in the second. 18-10. Another turnover. We talked about it, of course, in the pregame show, how critical not committing turnovers certainly was going to be to the course of this basketball game. And you're seeing the impact it's having right now. Bulldogs looking to go back up double digits on this possession. Passed down low, tipped and stolen nicely by Eli Vanderveen. Heath Heiss to run. Stutters, stops at the block and feeds for Baker. Back to Heath Heiss. He'll try a three over top of Tyson Mann. Can't get it to spin home. Rebound Regnerus. Good look, can't get the finish. And highbore the ball. Stockwell up fake and drive on McFall. That's a nice move. Nice jump stop. Nice finish. Logan Stockwell, he has shown off his bag and tricks that he has had in the last couple of games right here. Able to show it off one more time. The Bulldogs double up the Eagles 20-10 with 5.5 in the second. Daniels for Heath Heiss, down to Vanderveen. Big hope-bound wide receiver. Turns on Regnerus. Up fake, hook, no. Rebound Haight. Nothing falling right now for the Eagles to start this second quarter of play. Tyson Mann around the Regnerus screen. Finds Haight. Back to Tyson Mann, defended by Heath Heiss. Talked about how tough a defender he is. Nice passes. They were fronting the post with Vanderveen, trying to find Regnerus, but he can't quite hang on to the lollipop lob from Hybor. And Regnerus will take a seat as the Bulldogs will bring Heckman back on the floor. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter, 20-10. Grandville has Hudsonville doubled up right now. And Jovan Daniels, the 5'7 freshman, will go to work. Give and go. Heath Heiss drive. Can't get the finish, but a foul. Gibson Heath Heiss will go to the line for a couple right here for the Eagles. 4:49 in the second quarter, 20-10 Grandville. And that foul is going to be on Tyson Mann, and that's the first against the Bulldogs senior guard. Heath Heiss to the line, 5'10", as tough as they come as a guard. Bends the knees and knocks down the first. First point of the game for Heath Heiss. Dykstra comes in for Vanderveen. Grandville has gone 7 deep so far in this one. Hudsonville looks like 8 deep in the free throw. Also good for Heath Heiss. So he hits them both, and the Bulldogs take the ball back over with some full court pressure being shown. Stockwell able to beat Dykstra. 4:45 in the second. Bulldogs by 8. Tyson Mann, 3 early. Stockwell also had a 3. He'll dump here. Nice pass and nice finish. Heckman spinning in the lane, gets the job done, and the Bulldogs go back up double digits, 22-12. Nice feed from Stockwell. Bulldogs sharing the ball and making some nice moves. Baker drives on Hybor, can't get the finish, but he grabs his own boards. Put back, Baker, good. Griffin Baker has got 4, and he's got some good work for Hudsonville. 22-14 Grandville, 4:15. Already almost to the halfway point of the second quarter. Hendrickson set to come back in. Man, tough elbow shot goes. Got just enough space in Tyson now with 5 in the game, and the Bulldogs right back up to 10, going tit for tat right now offensively. Jovan Daniels defended by a crouched Ryder Haight. Dennis driving, Euro and finish. Back and forth we go. 2 more now for Dennis, and the Eagles pull back within single digits. Mann races past Heath-Ice into the open floor. Mann to the corner, Stockwell. Back from Mann. So dangerous, Stockwell at the perimeter. When he gets to that defender isolated, and he can start putting some of those up fake moves on that he's so good with. Mann cooking to the wing for Haight corner. Quick trigger 3, Highbore. Will not get the friendly rattle. Dykstra the rebound, and Hudsonville the basketball as they finally get a stop. They push it court long on to Baker to the basket. No, it was Mann getting the hand in there, causing the miss, and Tyson himself will take it back up the floor. 3:16 in the second, 24-16. Mann defended by Heath-Ice. Drives on a pair of defenders, foul. They will get Gibson Heath-Ice on the floor. 3:08 second quarter, 24-16. Finally a stoppage right here as we were just scoring back and forth like mad for a minute right there. That is the 3rd team foul on Hudsonville. And foul number 1 on Heath-Ice. So Highbore, Stockwell will get a rest right here. Hendrickson is in along with Nate Summers for the first time of the game. We see Summers. So the Bulldogs go 8 deep now into their bench. Lobbed up for Heckman. Good offensive start for Heckman with 4, out of bounds. Last touched by the diving Dennis, and Grandville will keep the basketball here. 3:02 in the first half remains. 24-16 Grandville. Gone back and forth a little bit right here in the last couple minutes of this game. Hudsonville extending some of their pressure right now defensively. Mann trying to work around that screen, dumping for Heckman. It bounces away, stolen by Baker, and Griffin Baker to run with it. Baker, Daniels, space, triggers the 3, no, rebound, Tyson Mann taken away from him by Dykstra. He'll jump in the lane and score. Mason Dykstra with 3 and a quick answer, and a timeout from Coach Young. 2:37, second quarter, 24-18 Grandville up, but Hudsonville a little bit of a comeback over the last couple of minutes. We'll be right back here from Vanderslice Gymnasium.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit foldingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
Welcome back, Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer with you. 2:34, second quarter. Grandville leading border war rival Hudsonville. 24-18 right now, late in the second quarter. And the Dogs have it up top with Corbin Heckman. He's got 4 in the early stage of this game. Tightly defended by Baker. Swung to Hendrickson, and he's fouled by a reaching Jonah Dennis. That'll be team foul number 5 on Hudsonville. So now 5 apiece in the foul department. 2:19 to go. Summers to throw it in, defended by the freshman, Jovan Daniels, who leaps in front. Daniels grew up and has played a lot with Cam Ryans, the terrific also freshman at Northview. Top of the key, Tyson Mann rocking and working on Heath-Ice. He'll feed for Heckman in the wing. Heckman jabs, puts the ball on the floor, bouncing into the lane. Hook shot over top of the defender, no. Rebound, Regneris. It was Daniels getting the hand in there. Kicks for Hendrickson with space on the 3. Can't knock that one down. Flying rebound from Summers, but a foul called in the fight for the ball. And Hudsonville takes back over. Just under 2 minutes to go, second quarter. 24-18 Bulldogs. Chance to bring that gap down just a little bit more, maybe even cross that 20-point threshold for Hudsonville in this tough game. Drew Hungerford set to come in for the Bulldogs for the first time as Daniels will run the offense here. Shamry on the bench with a couple of fouls for the Eagles. Dump pass and a nice one on to Dykstra. Settled and scores. Left-hand hook, Mason Dykstra with 5, and the Eagles get it within 4. Tyson Mann in the backcourt, defended by Heath-Ice. He'll take it over the timeline and bounce all the way down the floor to the basket. Can't get the friendly roll. Rebound Baker. Hudsonville down 4. Now they're set to run with Heath Ice all the way up the floor. Heath Ice to the basket. Gets the friendly roll. Back-to-back very quick scores. And Hudsonville is within a score. 1:18 to go. Second quarter, 24-22. Looking like a first to 50 type clash and a good run from the Eagles to close the gap after the Bulldogs are up by as much as 10. Man runs into Hendrickson on the handoff. Regnerus will turn and work on Dykstra. Tries to dump a pass that's stolen, and Heath Ice will run with it. Chance to tie or take the lead. Heath Ice out of control, settles it down, tipped out. Hudsonville keeps it. 56 seconds to go. Hungerford comes in. And both teams looking to settle things down a little bit as Heckman will take a seat. And now we'll look to settle things down even a little bit more as Coach Elliott will call a timeout. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. The GRS-HOF also presents annual events in support of West Michigan athletics and raises funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame on Facebook and check out pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at grshof.com, along with the Bates Agency. Centennial Securities, also a presenting sponsor of MGM, and Centennial Securities is a community service-focused, locally owned investment firm with strong Midwestern values. Since the day they opened their doors in 1978, they have and will continue to recognize that it's not prudent to take a one-size-fits-all approach to investing. Check out Centennial Securities online at centennialsec.com. 56 seconds on the second quarter clock. Hudsonville has taken what was at one point a 10-point lead down to 2, 24-22. And the Eagles have got the ball coming out of this timeout in the front court as well. Shamray remains with a couple of fouls on the bench, and Jovan Daniels, the freshman, will run the offense. He's chased down here by Hendrickson. Screen there from Dykstra. He'll get it. Thought about the triple with Regnerus on him. He'll step into the three. Can't knock it down short. Rebound to Baker. Tied up with Hungerford. And a jump ball is called on the alternating possession. It stays with the Eagles. Stockwell checks in for the Bulldogs. Hungerford, after the effort play, takes a seat. 41.6 seconds in the second frame. Grandville by 2. Daniels to throw in. Jovan Daniels lobs for Baker with space. 3 for the lead. Yes! Splashes it down. 7 for Baker, and the Eagles come back to take a bit of an unlikely lead with the way this thing was leaning early in the second quarter, 25-24. Down low pass, nearly stolen, regathered by Summers. Fed on to Tyson Mann. Mann crosses up Heath Ice and drives. Nice leaner, can't finish, put back Regnerus, yes! And a foul. Cam to the line for one more. 7 for Regnerus. That foul is the first on Mason Dykstra. 7 on the team. 13.5, and Tyson Mann will go to the bench for a bit of an early rest right here as Haight comes in. Regnerus looking to stretch it to a 2-point lead at the half. And the one Achilles heel to his offense early on this year, and he can't knock that one down. The Eagles get the board and run with it. Kick out for Daniels, stolen away by a reaching Hendrickson. He'll throw it down the floor onto Summers. Final 2 seconds. Summers around the leaning Dennis, gets the finish at the buzzer. Great work to close out the half by a charging Nate Summers. 28-25. The Bulldogs take a 3-point advantage into the halftime break as both teams will find their way to the locker room, where I think there's going to be plenty for each of these coaching staffs to go over with their squads as we head into the second 16 minutes of play in just a moment. We welcome you inside Vanderslice Gymnasium and welcome you into the Centennial Securities halftime show. Quite the first half of play. Grandville goes back on top with a couple late scores, but it was a game of runs. First quarter, Hudsonville went on the first run. Grandville then answered. Then we kind of ground things down for the end of the first quarter into the start of the second. Bulldogs then went on a run, able to get some good stops, and then went back the other way. Hudsonville up the pressure, steals into offense. We talked about how big that was going to be in this contest. Turnovers and easy points when everything is going to matter in a tough defensive first game. That was the case. Hudsonville comes all the way back. They even take the lead out of that run, but then the Bulldogs, a couple late scores, one from Regnerus and a really nice one at the buzzer by Summers on a back-and-forth full-court sequence, able to put the Bulldogs up by 3 at the half. A lot more to get to here on the Centennial Securities Halftime Show. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back with some stats and more.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly,
you've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
And it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Michigan Sports Academies offers quality youth sports in Grand Rapids, Holland, and Muskegon. With a wide variety of programming, MSA has something for new athletes who are just starting out to experienced athletes looking to take their game to the next level. Year-round programming is offered in basketball, lacrosse, soccer, and volleyball. Your athlete will love the quality of instruction from experienced coaches in state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore. Check us out at MichiganSportsAcademies.com.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
And welcome back to Vanderslice Gymnasium and the Centennial Securities Halftime Show. Nate Dreyer with you, and let's go over some of our first half scoring from this one as Grandville leads Hudsonville 28-25 at the half. Let's start with the Eagles. Really pretty balanced scoring for both of these teams. Braden Shamray with 5. Gibson Heath goes for 4. 2 for Braylon McFall and for Jonah Dennis. They each go with a couple. Mason Dykstra had 5, and the Eagles were led in scoring by Griffin Baker. For the Bulldogs, adding up to 25 points. A very balanced offensive attack. 5 for Tyson Mann, 2 for Quentin Hendrickson, 5 for Logan Stockwell, 3 for Ryder Haight, 7 for Cam Regnerus. He leads the Bulldogs offensively, and then 4 more for Corbin Heckman. A game that I think is pretty darn close, followed the script that you would probably expect out of this game. It was going to take a grinding approach on both ends of the floor. It was going to take a lack of mistakes that would probably lead one team or other to a lead and to an advantage in this game. And for the Bulldogs, they were able to make just a few fewer mistakes and make a couple more plays, especially right at the end of that half. And that's what you can expect. It's going to be first to 50. Probably wins this game, maybe 52 at this point in time, maybe at most. You can expect things to grind down probably even more in the second half of play. And from there, it'll be interesting to see who's able to find the advantage. Both teams have gone on these runs offensively, especially that have kind of stood out to myself. I think you expect, obviously, the grinding nature of this game. The defense is coming to the forefront, but instead you've had these moments where the offenses have kind of starred. And for Hudsonville, it was offense that was defense into offense, turnovers into running in the full court, getting their athletes out. For a team that normally wants to be grinding, it was effective when they were running, and Grandville not able to settle down. For the Bulldogs, the opposite. They would grind offensively very effectively, knock down some threes, got some touches for Regnerus. That's where their offense is going to be. It's kind of inside out. Regnerus on his way out. Regnerus even hit a 3 and was able to direct the offense, had an assist from the top of the key when he pulled the defense out there. This isn't as big of a Hudsonville team like you normally see. 6'3" Dykstra in the post, 6'4" Vanderveen in the post. You got 6'3" McFall on the wing. That's all they have. This is not your Hudsonville team like we've seen in past years where they have 6'5", they have 6'6", they have 6'7" in a couple of guys at the perimeter. Instead, they are going to be a little bit smaller, looking to grind, looking to get in your face defensively, double the post, front the post. We saw them doing that a little bit, trying to keep the ball out of Ragnaris on the touch. There's an opportunity, and there were a couple of these examples for the Bulldogs to lob to Ragnaris with the post being fronted and try to get him those quick offensive touches and scores. He's got to be very quick because they're going to probably look to bring the double. They're going to look to bring the pressure on him. Ragnaris has to make a quick move and go. He sometimes is very good at those more delayed moves, getting in the back, turning, looking, working, eventually getting the hook shot. He's probably going to have to be a lot quicker offensively, I think, in a lot of moves because Hudsonville going to try to bring that pressure quick and try to force the turnovers quickly on the catch a lot of times. If that does continue to be, of course, this is a no-middle defense. That's what they always like to do. But if that does continue to be what they're trying to do, on the other end of things, I think Braden Shamray coming back on the floor will be big for Hudsonville. They, of course, missed his presence. You could tell when he was dealing with a little bit of foul trouble with two kind of early fouls. Both these coaches are coaches that typically will sit their players with 2 fouls in the first half. And you could tell the offense was a little bit more needing to go full court in order to get the offense going. Dykstra was very good running full court. Griffin Baker, when he came in, really led. I think we'll see a lot more Baker. I wouldn't even be surprised if Coach Elliott starts him to begin the second half because he was a very effective piece of what they want to do offensively. All right, Centennial Security's halftime show rolls on. All right, after this, a lot more to break down. 28-25. Granville leading Hudsonville at the break.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car. And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Need to replace that worn-out carpet or floor? Floor Coverings International makes it easy. They bring their mobile showroom to you. Save yourself the trip and gas shopping around. See a wide selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl in the lighting of your own home. Go to floorcoveringsinternational.com today for your free consultation. Work with one team for a hassle-free experience from the quote to installation. And each Floor Coverings International business is independently owned and operated, so they are local business owners in our community. Floor Coverings International, the flooring store at your door.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage.
All right, welcome back to Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dry with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Video coverage of Granville and Hudsonville rolls on. 1:04 on the halftime clock on our Centennial Securities halftime show. Granville by 3 at the half. Quick note, I think it automatically is there if you're watching through the main Michigan Sports Radio feed also. Welcome to everyone that is also tuned in through the NFHS network, by the way. This evening, like we're on for all Granville home games. But if you're watching through YouTube in particular, Facebook might have this option. Make sure also you may want to have to manually turn up the quality settings. I know sometimes on the broadcast to get a little bit clearer picture. Just one little note on the broadcast. I've seen that sometimes it may automatically just technically settle at 360 pixels instead of you can go 720 or beyond based on what your internet capabilities might be. So make sure you turn that up. If you're on the YouTube feed, I know most people are through the Michigan Sports Radio or even the NFHS feed normally. So just a note for in that case, or maybe if you're watching the replay of the game, to maybe manually do that just for some video qualities. We continue to work through a couple of those bugs getting our video coverage underway. All right, here we go. Second half of play. Granville leading Hudsonville by 3 at the break, and the Bulldogs go to work. Both teams bring out the same lineups that open the game to open the second half. Hendrickson on the floor against Shamray, able to rip it away once the tie-up comes. Alternating possession will go Hudsonville's way with 7:42 in the third, 28-25. So a turnover for the Bulldogs there as Hendrickson gets on the floor and is unable to roll his way out of it. And Shamray will go to work here. Good start offensively for Shamray. He had 5 before some of the foul trouble came. He can't knock that one down. Heckman the rebound, and Mann to run the offense. Both teams a little bit slower with some of their general attack. Just as I say that, Mann picks up the pace inside. Up top, Heckman swings Hendrickson, reaching past Regnerus, tipped out by the reaching arm from Mason Dykstra. About 42 seconds gone. Third frame. No scoring yet in this quarter. Mann lobs for Hendrickson. Tough feed, and McFall races out of there with the basketball. McFall all the way to the basket, reaches around Heckman and scores. Tough pass to try to make right there from Tyson Mann, trying to find the leaping Hendrickson. Turns into a turnover and turns into easy points, which remains a critical part of this game. And again, it's full court offense for Hudsonville, using athletes like McFall to run off the steal. It's a 1-point game with 6:55 in the third. Mann defended by Gibson Heath-Ice. Mann finds Heckman. Heckman finds Stockwell to the corner for Hendrickson. Nice move by Stockwell. No-look feed. Regnerus to the line. He'll shoot a couple. Great ball movement right there from the Bulldogs. Keep it constantly moving. Ball can always move faster than you can, and any other great old coaching cliche to go along with it. And they're able to get to the line and get foul number 2 on Mason Dykstra from that. First foul of the half on either squad. Regnerus hits at the line. He now has 8 for the 6'8 junior. And has one more coming up here. Unable to hit the second, goes 1 of 2. Stockwell the board, ripped away and controlled away by Shamray and the Eagles. 6:37 third quarter. It's now 1 of 3 at the line for Regnerus in this one. Dennis, corner Shamray. Tries it over top of Mann, cannot hit. Rebound Heckman. Nice job to extend the left arm and get it. Hendrickson to run against some full court pressure. Hendrickson dumps hard. Regnerus fouled. He'll go to the line again. Bulldogs offense working it inside right now to Regnerus on some powerful moves. We'll see if he can convert at the line this time. Second team foul of the half on Hudsonville, and the foul is on Shamray. That is 3. Coach Elliott up from his bench, unhappy with the call there as Regnerus hits the first. 9 now for Regnerus. Daniels comes in for Shamray. He's going to have to be seated for a while, likely the end of this quarter at least. One more Regnerus at the line. And the Bulldog Junior able to convert both there. He goes to double-digit scoring and is our first double-digit scorer of the game. Jovan Daniels, freshman guard, will run the offense. 31-27 Grandville. Just about 2 minutes gone in the third frame. Daniels for Braylon McFall. Here's Heath-Ice. Daniels again, drives, floater, good. Over top of Cam Regnerus. 5'6" Jovan Daniels, able to finish with the teardrop and bring his team back within 2, 5:50 in the third. Nice move by Hendrickson, sizing up the smaller defender Daniels. To the block, Regnerus. Finds Hendrickson. He'll get the ball screen set and go the other way instead. Corner Stockwell 3. No, missed it all. Cannot get the corner triple to fall. Has not hit a 3 since he opened up the game scoring for the Bulldogs with a triple. Heath-Ice, Dykstra, swung McFall for Daniels now. Jonah Dennis drives, cannot score. Regnerus got the hand in there to help alter the direction of the shot, and the Bulldogs take the basketball. 31-29 their lead. Highbore set to check in. Driving man. He has 5 offensively. Kicks down to Heckman. Stolen by McFall on the nice reach. Good job to work from behind by McFall. He'll take it in himself now. Handoff for Daniels. He'll try a deep 3 over top of man. No, off the back rim. Higher leaping, reaching rebound for Cam Regnerus. 4:50 in the third. 31-29 Bulldogs. Man Down the right side of the lane, elevates and scores. Nice job, a little finger roll as well. Mann with 7, his first score of the second half. It's 33-29. Very grinding third quarter of play so far in this one. McFall. Dykstra drives, cannot finish. Rebound, Cam Regnerus. Another board for Regnerus. He's off to good work off the offensive and the defensive in particular glass in this third quarter. Mann defended by Daniels. 4:11 in the third. Around the Regnerus screen. Here's Stockwell. Tyson Mann again. Mann, Daniels staying in front of him. What a tough defender he is. Whips it for Heckman in the corner. Jabs and drives. McFall draws the offensive foul. Heckman does not love the call, but it's going to be Hudsonville basketball off the turnover, and foul number 3 on Heckman. Baker and Hybor check in for their respective squads. Off the third foul, Heckman will stay out there. It's Stockwell taking a seat along with Jonah Dennis. 33-29, Bulldogs by 4 over Hudsonville in this crosstown border war. Pair of 2-1 OK Red teams as well. Up top, Dykstra thought about the 3. He'll drive on Regnerus in turn. Reaching block from Cam Regnerus came to McFall. Emphatic rejection from Regnerus, who's been all over the blocks as well as the boards. Daniels puts the moves on and gives for Heath Heiss. Drives, angling, reaching around Mann. Can't get the finish. Rebound, Hendrickson, Bulldogs to run. Lobs, Regnerus elevates, jams, and hangs. 12 for Cam Regnerus, and the Bulldogs go up 35-29. Daniels, Bulldogs wanted the travel call. Baker for McFall, back for Daniels. He'll try a deep, deep 3. Can't hit it. Kind of searching for that shot right now. Another rebound for Regnerus. He is got to be working on a near double-double. We have to see those official rebounding stats. Tyson Mann with it. He's got 12 on offense. Regnerus does, and he's got it back out of the double team. Corner, Heckman, 3. Yes, sir! Bulldogs going for a run, 38-29. 7 now for Heckman. 2.5 in the third, 38-29. Daniels for Baker. He'll try it over Hybor. Tough. Lip out on that one, 360 and out. Regnerus to run the offense and drive. Regnerus backing down Dykstra. Can't get the finish, but Hendrickson the board. Up top, Mann, space, deep 3. Yes! Splashes down, 41-29. Timeout Hudsonville. Tyson Mann, a big triple. Mann joins Regnerus with 10 points. And we'll be right back here from Vanderslice Gymnasium.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
And welcome back to Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer with you here on MGN on Michigan Sports Radio. What a run for the Bulldogs, punctuated by a pair of triples. First Heckman, then Tyson Mann, and the lead is up to 41-29. And a really, really strong offensive third quarter for the Bulldogs. Started a little grinding for both teams with the offense starting to take over right here. Daniels swings it around. Griffin Baker. Back for Jovan Daniels, the freshman, teardrop, good, nice move. Jovan Daniels, such a quick release. He's been kind of hunting shots a little bit, but he's able to score on that one. Mann beats the full court pressure, reach from Heath Heiss stolen, and Jonah Dennis to run. Dennis, Euro, runner, good off the window. Back-to-back quick baskets, Dennis now with 4, and Hudsonville within 41-33. Extending that pressure a little bit, Tyson Mann over the timeline. 1:25 in the third, 41-33, back-to-back baskets for the Eagles out of the timeout. Hendrickson finds Stockwell, who opened Grandville scoring in this one. Has 5 total now in the game. Mann has found double digits scoring. He's got 10. Stockwell marks out the screen, instead throws to a driving Hendrickson to the basket, reverse layup, reaching around the defender, hangs on the connector, will not fall, and Jovan Daniels to run it up for the Eagles. Final minute, third frame, 41-33 Grandville. Baker. Eagles looking for another late quarter run, kind of like what they went on at the end of the second quarter, to bring them a little bit closer. Long teardrop from Daniels from about 18 feet along the baseline, won't go, kind of forcing that one. We go inside 40 seconds in the third. Grandville leads 41-33. Man for Stockwell. Stockwell directing some traffic. Hendrickson now. He has 2 offensively for the Bulldogs tonight, defended by Daniels. Regnerus the screen. Bulldogs running a 5-out offense right now with 18 seconds. Taking some time off the clock. Post touch for Regnerus. Reaching around Vanderveen. Can't get the finish. Rebound to Eli Vanderveen. Baker to run with 10 seconds. Baker hesitates. Pull-up shot over top of Highborn. No. Rebound Regnerus. Regnerus for Mann. Mann at the buzzer, flings it court long, off the glass, can't get the half-court shot at the end of the third like he did against West Ottawa, and that'll do it for 3 frames of play. 41-33, Grandville over Hudsonville. Will be right back here from Vanderslice Gymnasium.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly,
you've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
And it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
All right, welcome back to Grandville High School's Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer with you. Game night on Michigan Sports Radio. 41-33, Grandville leading Hudsonville. Eagles bring on some pressure, and the Bulldogs get the ball to start the final frame. Coaches Elliott and Young got their final kind of minute of coaching free before timeouts right there to try to readjust things in Hudsonville, bringing quite a bit of defensive pressure to open the final frame. Hendrickson turned the back on Shamray, who's out there with 3 fouls, and it's an offensive foul and an illegal screen called on Cam Regnerus. A little over 20 seconds gone in the fourth. 41-33, Hudsonville looking to try to answer with a little bit of a run here after the Bulldogs were able to go on quite the run for the middle part of that third quarter, and they lead by 9 because of it. Entering the final 8 minutes. Shamray around the screen, drives, kicking for Baker through his hands, Grandville ball. Nope, it's actually going to stay with Hudsonville. Officials were confused. The trailing official that Coach Elliott was talking to was saying it's going Grandville's way. The other official was saying it's staying down here. That's the case. Jovan Daniels, freshman guard, to throw in. Finds Baker. Baker bouncing with it and feeds up top for Dennis. Handoff, Baker on the drive, spins in the lane, blocked by Stockwell, put back no. That was Heckman getting a hand in there and Heckman running with it. Corbin Heckman all the way to the corner of the ball. He'll take on Vanderveen, turns coast to coast, the block and the finish. Corbin Heckman does it all. He's got 9, and the Bulldogs go up 10, 43-33. Shamray drives, whips the hands free, can't finish, rebound Cam Regnerus. 6:50 and less. Dykstra up from the Hudsonville bench to come in. Reaching in is Shamray, no foul possession, stays with Hendrickson. Hackman will turn the back on Baker. Back on his way in, shimmy, hook, no. Board down to Jonah Dennis. Minute and a half gone in the final frame. Bulldogs by double digits. dancing in the lane. Dennis, no, but a foul. They're going to get either Heckman or Regnerus. It's going to be Corbin Heckman, and that is 4 on the Bulldog Junior. Let's see what Coach Young decides to do. He'll bring Tyson Mann in, so the Bulldogs will go kind of small right here as the answer. Free throw, Dennis, good. He has 5, by the way. So Dykstra's in, Heath-Ice is in. McFall will come in for Dennis. So 4 fouls. Heckman has to take a seat, and the Bulldogs will go a little bit smaller. Dennis can't connect there. Rebound stays with Hudsonville. Floater again from Jovan Daniels, no. Put back Baker, yes. 9 for Griffin Baker, leading his team's offensive attack. Man sprints it over the timeline, 43-36. Regnerus peers at the 3, takes the 3, banks it in. Back-to-back games with a bank triple for the Bulldogs. Regnerus with 15. It's 46-36, the right back up 10. Feed for Dykstra, reaches around Regnerus, no. Long rebounded Daniels. Here's Heath-Ice on the drive. Corner, Dykstra tries a 3 with space. Misses it all, and the Bulldogs get the ball. Here's Mann with a 10-point lead, 5:40 to go. Regnerus post touch against Dykstra. Gave a shoulder and scores. 17 for Cam Regnerus, the junior, coming to his own offensively again. 5.5 to go, Bulldogs by 12. Daniels, the freshman, for Dennis. Drives, hooks, can't score. Rebound Hendrickson. Push to Tyson Mann, 5:17, corner Stockwell. Regnerus going to try it again, backing, turning, left hand, yes! Cam Regnerus, untouchable, timeout Hudsonville. 19 for Cam, 50-36 Grandville. Bulldogs going for a run. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. The GRS-HOF also presents annual events in support of West Michigan athletics and raises funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame on Facebook and check out pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at GRSHOF.com. Well, there was a run of 3s in there, and now there's a run of Cam Regnerus as he comes to the forefront for the Bulldogs on multiple touches. He's got that 4 or 5 inch advantage down low on Mason Dykstra, and he's taken it to whoever the Eagles have been matching up in Dykstra on the last couple of possessions. What work by him, and the Bulldogs now lead by 14 with a little over 5 minutes to go in the final frame. Thanks, of course, to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency, Centennial Securities. You've seen them both up on your screen all game long. You hear me mention them every game, all game long, because we are so thankful to each of them for their constant support of MGN. Hudsonville, the ball out of the break, and Braden Shamray to run the offense. He trails by 14. Bulldogs have stayed man and their traditional defensive look all game long. After using only a 2-3 zone last time. Floater, Shamray, good. Nice answer for Shamray right away out of the break to stop the run and get it to 50-38. Hudsonville bringing some full court pressure. Man with a right-hand dribble will cross over. Loston regathers and blows up the floor. Man to the basket, poked from behind by Shamray. They're going to get Shamray for a foul right there on the reach. Kind of a late ill-advised reach. And that is foul number 4 on the junior. .439 in the fourth. Saw Coach Elliott back at his bench just a moment ago, kind of coaching up his guys in terms of where that foul came from for Shamray. And Tyson Mann able to hit the first free throw. He has 11 now for the Bulldogs. One more for the Bulldogs senior guard at the line right here. And he hits. 2 of 2 for Tyson. Jovan Daniels to run the Eagles offense with 4.5 to go. They trail 52-38. Daniels for Shamray. Hate the closeout on him. Shamray angles in, floater short, touches it on for the continued possession. A hook shot will not go for Eli Vanderveen. 4:18 in the fourth, 52-38. Mann Blows past Shamray. Bouncing into the lane, lost the ball, and Hudsonville takes it. 4:09, fourth quarter. 52-38 Grandville. Dykstra will check in for Vanderveen here. 5 points for Dykstra in this game after he had 7 against Rockford. Shamray the ball, 7 for the junior third-year point guard. Dykstra the ball screen. Give to Dykstra on the pick and roll to the basket, and the hook shot misses it all. He somehow is able to save that ball in. Shamray tries the three. No. Rebound is touched by Regnerus, but they'll get an over-the-back call on the Bulldog forward there. Third foul on Cam Regnerus. 3:52 in the fourth. 52-38 Bulldogs. Jovan Daniels to throw in. Daniels lobs for Baker. Baker goes right for Dykstra. Turns, blocked Regnerus out of bounds, and it rolls off of Dykstra out, and the Bulldogs take it. 3:47 in the fourth. A little bit of full court pressure on Mann being shown by Shamray. Mann able to beat it here into the wing. Tyson Mann chased by Shamray all the way across the floor. Here's Hendrickson. Baker all over him. Physical defense from the Eagles here. Timeout. Coach Young. 3.5, fourth quarter. 52-38 Grandville. And Coach Young wants a well-deserved quick break for his team to reset things here as Hudsonville has upped the pressure a little bit. Welcome inside here, the broadcast perch at Vanderslice Gymnasium. 52-38. Great offensive run for the Bulldogs in that third quarter and the fourth quarter as well. As you think about a couple different moments, the back-to-back triples from Heckman and then Tyson Mann in the third quarter. And then the fourth quarter, a couple of possessions in a row. The offense was simple. Give it to Cam Regnerus at the block. Let the Bulldog Jr. go to work. He was able to score after going to work a couple of times, and that helped grow this Bulldog advantage to where it is now. It's been hovering right around where it's at the 14-point threshold for the last few minutes. 3.5 to go. What are we going to see? Well, Hudsonville has shown an ability to try to up the pressure at points. I think you can certainly expect that it's going to go full court. It's going to try to turn into quick turnovers like what you saw at the end of the second quarter into points. That's their only chance to come back in this game. If Hudsonville not able to bring that pressure, they are going to fall in this game. And Grandville finally will kind of get over that Hudsonville hump they have had for the last couple years, kind of struggled to beat the Eagles in the last few contests between these two schools. 3.5 in the fourth. Grandville out of their own timeout gets the basketball. Hendrickson over the timeline. It's Shamray applying the defense. Remember, 4 fouls on Braden Shamray. Have to watch that. Regnerus spinning into the lane. Eli Vanderveen able to get enough of that one to redirect it with no foul called. And Baker tries a 3 on the other end. No rebound. Nice job by Quentin Hendrickson to sky and take it away. Inside, 3:10 to go. Bulldogs by 14. Mann is trapped. He's able to exit it to Hendrickson. Heckman back for Hendrickson. Mann fouled by Baker. 2:57. First foul on Griffin Baker. That is team foul number 4. 4 on either team. We're just inside 3 minutes now to go. 52-38 the lead. We said it was going to be a first to 50 type game. Is that going to be the case? Because Grandville is already there. Here's Heckman, top of the key. Spinning in and handing off here for Hendrickson. Hendrickson on the floor against Shamray, out of bounds. Hudsonville ball last touched by Hendrickson. But both these teams last time out, Grandville gave up 41 to East Kentwood. Hudsonville gave up 44 to Rockford. So their defense was in the low 40s even in that contest. The Bulldogs averaging just a little over 50 points per game. 50.8 points per game allowed. Could go down after this one. What a steal by Hendrickson. Able to rip it away from the freshman Jovan Daniels. And now Hendrickson will take it past Daniels into the front court. Corner Tyson Mann with 2.5. Followed by Baker. Second on Baker. 5th on the team. So 2:27. And Baker, the guy that Hudsonville can lean on a little bit for some of the aggressive defense, just those 2 fouls, and he will be the one that takes on Tyson Mann here. Mann with a screen set all the way up top from Cam Regnerus. Baker reaches, diving along with Tyson on the floor, held ball, and Hudsonville possession on the alternating possession. 2:16 in the fourth, another turnover. So far, the turnovers really haven't hurt the Bulldogs. They've taken some time off the clock, and then they've been able to hold Hudsonville on the other end. We'll see if that continues. Shamray spins into the lane and scores, able to fill it up with a twisting shot. 9 for Shamray, and a quick 30-second timeout from Coach Elliott and the Eagles. Game reset here, presented by the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency and Centennial Securities. Eli Vanderveen checks in along with Gibson Heathheis for the Eagles. You see them both run to the table. As you expected, the pressure upped. A couple turnovers in there. Hudsonville also unable to connect on a couple of occasions. They're able to score on that last drive down the floor with Shamray, who filled it up nicely for his 8th and 9th point of the game. But it's the same thing. I mean, the Bulldogs still a 12-point lead. So a chance as the Eagles will certainly set up some full court pressure here for Grandville to try and take some time off, try to get some efficient scoring. Tyson Mann will blow it up the floor. Mann to the corner where he is fouled. And I think it's going to be Heathheis on the grab. It is not. It is going to be Baker, who's got 3 fouls in a row for Hudsonville. And that is 6 on the team, so the Bulldogs will be shooting free throws after this. 2 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Stockwell to throw in. Stockwell wanted man. Now he gets man in the backcourt, reaching over top of Heathheis. Inside 2 minutes. Grandville by 12 over Hudsonville. Man for Hackman. McFall brings the pressure. Dump for Stockwell. Kick to Hendrickson. 1:45 to go. Hendrickson, corner for Mann with space. Finds Regneris. Out of the double for Stockwell. He'll pull it out and kill some more time. Hendrickson bumped into by Shamray. Remember, one more, Shamray is done. Hendrickson. Timeout, Coach Young. So he wants to settle things down. Coach Desmond Young does right here. Hanging out on that 12-point lead. At minimum, took about 30 seconds off the clock or so right there. Jonah Dennis will check in for Hudsonville again on the other side of this. Remember, Scott Bates is your local Grandville, Jenison, and Hudsonville Farmers Insurance agent and is a great longtime supporter of Game Night and offers business insurance, auto, homeowners coverage, and more. Give Scott a call today at 616-531-3441 or stop into the agency located at 3181 Prairie Street Southwest in Grandville. Just under 90 seconds to go. The Bulldogs lead by 12. Looking to hang on to this one. Just kind of what you'd expect at the end of a grinding game between these two. It's going to turn into one team trying to take some time off the clock, trying to be efficient with it, and Hudsonville's certainly going to be upping the pressure as they need 12 points quickly. In the backcourt, Hendrickson able to reach over top. A double team is brought, and a foul is called on Gibson Heathheis. And the Bulldogs will go to the line for a 1-and-1 off the second foul on Heathheis and the 7th on the team. Dykstra, McFall, Daniels check in. It's going to be a little bit of defense for offense every time, in part depending on who can score, but also looking at foul trouble a little bit as well. Remember, Shamray, the 4 fouls, does remain out there. Hackman also with 4. That's really your watch at foul trouble right now. Hendrickson back at the line for the Bulldogs. Cannot score, and it'll go back the other way as he misses the front end. Free throw shooting going to become critical down the stretch. It's been a little bit of a bugaboo for the Bulldog offense. Step back shot from Shamray will not go. He'll race to his own rebound and lob up for Baker. Baker drives into the lane, reaching around Regneris. Shot blocked, and it'll stay with Hudsonville. 1:11 in the fourth. 52-40. Jovan Daniels, 5'7", 5'6", freshman guard to trigger in. Gets it to Shamray, the junior. A little bit of an up fake. Shot over top of Mann will not go. And Tyson Mann skies for the rebound and is grabbed and fouled by Braylon McFall. So 1:04 to go. Hudsonville will start the foul game. This is the guy, though, that the Bulldogs do want to send to the line. Landon Terry is up from the bench. He'll come in for Cam Regneris as some of the free throw situations are up. Also, Hungerford coming in. So a couple of the bench players being cleared right now as Mann will go to the line. One more coming for Tyson. 13 for him. Boston Postma checks in. Nate Summers checks in. So with 1:04 to go and a 13-point lead, Coach Young is starting to clear his bench a little bit. What appears to be a big rivalry win for the Bulldogs. They go back-to-back in the OK Red. Tyson Mann nails at the line. Ethan Shealy checks in for Tyson. So the second unit fully out there for the Bulldogs. Applause for Tyson Mann as he returns to the Bulldog bench. Grandville by 14. The Dogs just about set to go to 6-3 on the year. Shamray, tough shot, can't get the finish. Rebound to Terry. Final 53 seconds. Into the wing for Summers. Hudsonville not fouling here. Postma. Defended by Jovan Daniels to the final 43 seconds. Boston Postma drives, jump pass. Terry knocked out of bounds by Baker. It stays with the Bulldogs. So we're going to play this one out, but for Grandville, like I said, it'll be 6-3 on the year. Big win. They go to 3-1 in the OK Red. Keep your eye out what's going on elsewhere in the OK Red, because if Grand Haven loses, Grandville will be tied for P1 in the Red. And regardless what Grand Haven does, guess who's coming here Friday night? We'll have the live coverage. The Buccaneers come. Stolen by Baker. He'll run it court long. Nice feed on a Shamray to the basket. And Braden Shamray gets 2 more to bring his total to 11 for the evening. Final 15 seconds. 54-42. The Bulldogs have had their issues with Hudsonville as Baker reaches for the steal. He'll delay the winning call. Blocked away by Postma, but a foul called with 5.8. 54-42, but the Bulldogs have had their struggles with Coach Elliott's Eagles in the last couple of seasons. This was a really well-earned win. It's going to be a double-digit win based on what happens in these final seconds still. It looks, regardless, probably going to stay a double-digit win, a solid win, a statement win, back-to-back statement wins for the Bulldogs as well. And they get set to go to 3-1 in the tough OK Red. Baker able to hit the first. He has double digits with 10. 54-43, can bring it down to 10 at the line. Second one, no good. Fight for the rebound, taken by McFall. Turns, cannot score, and it will be a double-digit win. Grandville wins the border war and picks up win number 1 of the year over Hudsonville. Grandville to 6-3 on the season. Hudsonville falls to 6-4, and most importantly for the Bulldogs, they go to 3-1 in the OK Red, and their chase to win the OK Red certainly is on now, and certainly that race gets upped on Friday, as we will be right back here Friday night as Grandville and a doubleheader has Grand Haven in what is going to be a fight regardless what happens to Grand Haven tonight for the top spot, or what might then become the top spot within the OK Red. 54-43, easy enough for me to say, is the final. Grandville picks up the win in this one. All right, lots to get to on our Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency post-game show. Do not go anywhere. We'll have scoring, and we'll have our Centennial Securities player of the game. I think everyone has a probably pretty good idea who that is going to. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
welcome back into the Bates Agency Post-Game Show. Live look at the scene on the floor here at Vanderslice Gymnasium after Grandville picks up win number 6 on the season and win number 1 of the year over rival-Hudsonville. They will meet again on a Tuesday night in a few weeks at Hudsonville in what will certainly be a really fun one when they rematch. And the Bulldogs have to feel good about their chance to win that one after they pick up a double-digit win here tonight. Let's go through your scoring from this evening's game. For Hudsonville, they fall tonight. Jovan Daniels, their freshman guard, had 4. Braden Shamray with 11. He led the Eagles in scoring. Gibson Heathheis and Braylon McFall each come away with 4. Jonah Dennis had 5. Mason Dykstra also had 5. And then Griffin Baker, the other Eagle in double digits, he had 10. Tyson Mann had 14 for the Bulldogs. Quentin Hendrickson had 2. 5 for Logan Stockwell. Ryder Haight with 3. Nate Summers had 2. Corbin Heckman comes away with 9 this evening. And Cam Regneris leads all scorers. He had 19 for the Bulldogs this evening. And now we turn it over to our Centennial Securities player of the game. And I just mentioned him. Cam Regneris, it was easily had to have been a double-double. It was probably almost nearly a 20-20 type game. A ton of blocks thrown in there as well, 19 points. He was the engine of the Bulldogs' fourth quarter offense, and for very good reason. Cam Regneris, your player of the game. And we've got a big one on Friday. 5:30 p.m. doubleheader, girls, then the boys. Granville and Grand Haven. The boys' game will get a lot of the focus because regardless what happened, I have not seen the Grand Haven score yet tonight. Regardless what happens in that one, it will be a battle one way or another for helping decide the top spot in the OK Red, and the Bulldogs certainly showing they are ready to be there. And they've kind of had the number of the Buccaneers in a lot of contests in the last couple years, especially since Coach Young came here, beat him here at Vanderslice Gymnasium a year ago. So that's certainly be a lot of fun around the air. 5:30 video coverage again. CT will rejoin me. Also, not a Michigan Game Night broadcast, but make sure to tune into the AQ Saints Sports Network on Saturday night. Former Grandville Bulldog Tommy Gregoire starts for AQ. I'm actually going to be filling in on that broadcast. So not an exact MGM broadcast, but former Bulldog Tommy Gregoire in action in that game. I'll be on the call that Saturday night. But, of course, Friday night, that's what you're interested in. Make sure you tune in, MichiganSportsRadio.com/MGN or wherever else you may have listened tonight. It's going to be a big one. The girls' game first. That'll be a fun matchup. And then especially the boys' game, a battle at the top of the OK Red. Bulldogs beat Hudsonville here tonight. 54-43 your final. We'll see everyone Friday night.